I'm so used to having our faculty council and faculty meetings in here where there's a gavel to get everybody's attention. And thank you so much for joining us tonight. I am Jo Allen. I'm the Senior Vice President and Provost here at Widener. And one of the delights of my position is that I do get to work so closely with this outstanding faculty. And tonight is a night that we celebrate their achievements and contributions and welcome you, their colleagues, family, friends, to celebrate along with us. This is our third annual Faculty Awards Banquet, recognizing the outstanding teaching, research, and civic engagement of our distinguished faculty. And just as graduation is the pinnacle of recognition for student achievements, the awards presented this evening are the pinnacle of recognition for faculty achievements here at Widener. Throughout the evening, we'll be introducing the exceptional faculty who've been nominated in our 3 awards categories: Innovation in Teaching, Outstanding Researcher, and Civic Engagement, and their contributions. We'll take a couple of breaks throughout the evening to refresh our plates and glasses and to find new and old connections among our friends. The evening will culminate in the presenting of the awards. We'll begin with faculty introductions in just a few moments, but first I'd like to introduce President James T. Harris, who has some welcoming remarks to make. President Harris.
Thank you, Provost Allen. As most of the people in this room know, our guests may not know, that our Provost has accepted the position to be president of her alma mater in North Carolina, in Raleigh, North Carolina, Meredith College. So within 2 months, she'll soon be a president as well. And can we give her a round of applause, congratulating her on that wonderful accomplishment? Today is a great day for Widener, not because school's over and the students are gone today, but rather because we do celebrate so many things. This afternoon, we actually celebrate the Eckert Awards for outstanding contributions from our support staff and our administrative staff. And tonight we celebrate what is at the heart of the matter, and that is teaching and learning at Widener. And I just want to say that this idea came about 3 or 4 years ago. I was asked to be a reviewer at the University of Arkansas, and they have a very similar approach where they put up their outstanding faculty for review by outsiders. And one of the reasons they did that is they wanted to raise the profile of their faculty on a national basis. And so we thought that was a great idea, and that we have captured that idea and put our own little twist on it. And so I think it's a fantastic way to promote the excellence that academic excellence we have at Widener. I also wanted to just talk a little bit about the legacy of Fitz Dixon. There are people in this room that knew Fitz. Fitz served on the board for 3 decades, and it is his family name, Widener, for whom the entire university is named. When Fitz passed away, he left a $1 million commitment to the university to be used at the discretion of the president. And as I've said to the faculty before, that doesn't happen very often, and it's a very tempting thing to think about how would you spend $1 million. I went to see Provost Allen. We had a long conversation about it, and the area we've been talking about was the creation of a focus on teaching, learning, and assessment at the university, and hence the Dixon Center for Teaching, Learning, and Assessment was created here at Widener. When I called Mrs. Dixon and I told her how we were planning to use the funds to create an award in his name as well for innovative teaching, she just said she thought that was a perfect way to honor Fitz, because Fitz always saw himself as an educator. He started out, he worked at Episcopal Academy, and if you did know Fitz, when he was around students and around children, he just lit up. He was just so happy to be around young people, and he really admired what our faculty did here at Widener. And so when we created the Fitz Dixon Innovative Teaching Award, we also felt that it was important to recognize the outstanding research that takes place at this university and often goes unnoticed. And so then we created a second award. The Outstanding Researcher will be giving that award this evening. And then last year we added a third award that really features the unique mission of Widener, and that is, of course, civic engagement. And one of the key elements of that is that we wanted to make sure that civic engagement was not a separate category, that civic engagement emerges from great teaching and from great research, so that that the only way someone could win that award is if they were nominated in one of the other two categories, and hence that award was developed. Tonight we honor the work of 9 of our colleagues who've been nominated for their commitment to teaching, research, and civic engagement. Drs. Hargadon, Mahoney, Martin, McHenry, and Nicosia are being recognized for their innovation in teaching. Drs. Fuhr, Gulick, Utel, and Huang are being recognized for their outstanding research. And of course, we're also, Dr. McHenry is being recognized for her contributions in civic engagement. Now, what's interesting to me is that, and probably not surprising to anyone here, is that each one of these individuals are not only worthy of this recognition, but knowing what I know about them as individuals, they could also be recognized as good colleagues, as wonderful mentors to our students, and genuinely inspiring faculty members. As you may know, I host focus groups with students every 6 or 8 weeks, and I do it on all 3 of our campuses, and I ask the same 2 questions. If you were in my shoes, what would you change about Widener, and what would you never change about Widener? And the change question always has a different answer, depending on who the student is and what they're happy with, whether it's the cafeteria or something else that they want to change. But every time I've had that in the 9 years that I've been president, every single session, at least one student, often many students, will say the thing they would not change is the relationship they have with their faculty. And it's consistent across all of our campuses, and it says a great deal about the relationship that our faculty have created with our students over the years. And what's also consistent is that when I go out, and I know that we have a number of alums here this evening, and they're here because they recognize the great faculty they had when they were students. And when deans and others in this room go and travel around the country and talk to alumni about Widener University, we often are asked about faculty. They're always inquiring about our faculty, and we're constantly told about how great our faculty have been in their lives and the important role they have. So as president, I might be able to fix a few things at the university. I might be able to help attract resources to fix a problem at the university. But if we didn't have great teaching and scholarship, I couldn't fix that. But we do have great teaching and scholarship, and I think we're blessed as a university to have the individuals that we do have this evening. It's clear to me that Widener and its reputation it's on the rise nationally, and it's large part because of what the faculty do every day. So I want you to enjoy your evening. I thank you for your support, and I'll be back a little bit later on for a toast to our wonderful faculty. Thank you. Thank you.
At this time, we are going to have our first food break because we're going to sort of enjoy our time together tonight. So we do have buffet stations over here, and we're going to just start going around table by table as you see and want to line up. Otherwise, I hope you will mingle and refill your drinks, and I'll be back with you in a few minutes to introduce our first set of nominees. As President Harris explained and your banquet program describes, the special origins and the purpose of the 3 awards that we are presenting this evening. It is my honor to introduce the nominees and their contributions that make them such extraordinary members of our academic community. They are all highly worthy recipients of this recognition and of these honors. We'll begin with the introductions of the nominees for the Fitz-Dixon Innovation for Teaching Award, then the nominees for the Outstanding Researcher Award, followed by the introduction of the nominee for the Faculty Award for Civic Engagement. At the end of the evening, we'll announce the recipients of these awards. In other words, we will go through the recognition of each of the nominees. We'll take one more break for our final desserts and coffees, and then we will announce our winners. Before we highlight the achievements and efforts of the nominees, I would like to first recognize our previous award winners. They continue to demonstrate the qualities that earned them recognition and have set the bar so high for others. The previous Fitz-Dixon Innovation in Teaching Award winners are here with us this evening as honored guests. Dr. Yvonne Antonucci and Dr. Marina Barnett. I'd like to ask them both to please stand. Yvonne and Marina. Thank you. Both have embodied the spirit of the award, using it as a springboard for greater national recognition of their work. The recipient of the first Outstanding Researcher Award, Dr. Michael Roscoe, is also here with us. Mike, would you please stand and be recognized? Thank you. Last year's recipient of the Outstanding Research Award, Dr. Iqbal or Monty Mansour, and the recipient of the inaugural Faculty Award for Civic Engagement, Dr. John Poulin, are unable to attend this evening. But we're pleased to have several of our previous award recipients and nominees here this evening to now help us share in the recognition of our faculty. I would also like to publicly recognize our external evaluators for the 3 awards who, of course, are not with us this evening. Nonetheless, it's the element of external review that lends such esteem and privilege to our nominees as their achievements are evaluated on a national and even international scale. So our sincere thanks to Dr. Michael Leroy, Professor, Vice President for Academic Affairs, and Dean of the Faculty at Widener University. Dr. Rebecca Chop, President of Swarthmore College, and Dr. Stephen Diner, Chancellor of Rutgers, Newark. Biographical highlights for each of these external reviewers appear in your program. So now to the nominees for the Fitz-Dixon Innovation in Teaching Award. First, Dr. Joseph Hargadon from the School of Business Administration. Joe, would you stand up and be recognized, please? Dr. Hargadon's teaching focuses on financial reporting, investment accounting, accounting education, and professional certifications. As a professor of accounting, in 1997 he started a collaboration with executives from PNC Global Investment Servicing, now part of BNY Mellon, to develop a new course titled Accounting and Taxation of Mutual Funds. The unique partnership that started in 1997 between Widener University and BNY Mellon includes several innovative aspects. First, it includes the selection of an industry-specific content area outside of the typical undergraduate accounting program. Second, it incorporates the use of real, non-abstract industry training materials in the classroom. Third, it involves the inclusion of the corporation's Director of Training as the industry partner. Fourth, it implements a real-world simulation exercise at the industry partners' facilities. And fifth, the partnership has led to collaboration with BNY Mellon on academic papers, research presentations, and a textbook. This innovative partnership has led to a new industry-specific undergraduate accounting course. This new course helps pave a direct line to increased employment opportunities for our students. It has also served as a catalyst for the creation of a mutual fund undergraduate accounting course at several other universities who have also adopted Dr. Hargadon's textbook. One other important outcome of Dr. Hargadon's partnership with BNY Mellon is the establishment of a PNC Hargadon undergraduate scholarship to be given to an accounting major each year. Joe, thank you for your contributions. Next, Dr. John Mahoney from the School of Hospitality Management. John? Dr. Mahoney is being recognized for his work both designing and teaching the capstone course, Hospitality Management 407, Restaurant Operations Management. He uses an innovative team approach as a vehicle to advance learning and practice within the context of managing conflict within teams. Dr. Mahoney's objective is to provide an environment where students realistically conceptualize, visualize, experience, and nurture some of the traits that have been identified for success in management. A group or team with built-in conflict addresses all management traits at some point during its task of designing and opening a restaurant concept twice during the semester. As a result, the learning outcomes for the course flow from the identified management traits. Dr. Mahoney has developed a way to use conflict within teams as a means to develop the leadership skills in students that will help them succeed in the hospitality industry. While the obvious skills of staffing and managing a restaurant are exhibited by the students each week in our Marriott dining room and adjoining production kitchen, the abilities more critical to the students' development as leaders are shaped throughout the semester in the process of team planning meetings, peer and self-assessments, and evaluation sessions, as well as feedback that students get when they open their restaurant for business. Dr. Mahoney, thank you for your contributions. Next, Dr. Andrea Martin from the College of Arts and Sciences. Andrea? Dr. Martin's pedagogical interests in teaching chemistry lie in several areas, including work related to process-oriented guided inquiry learning, the Learning Assistance Project, and the use of whiteboards in student group work. Her most recent interest in the use of whiteboards in student group work is based on modeling, a student-centered teaching method originally developed for high school physics. Modeling involves having groups of students use whiteboards to develop visual representations of scientific models, which are then used as a basis for classroom discussion. Dr. Martin's goal is to adapt this pedagogy to address the difficulties that students have in freshman chemistry when they find they must develop new active learning styles to be successful in college. Dr. Martin's hypothesis is that the whiteboard activities will improve concept development and critical thinking, and that this pairing of drawing and verbalizing will help students become better learners. With IRB approval, thank you, she gathered data in a controlled study of the use of whiteboards during the spring 2010 semester. This study involved writing guided inquiry activities, audio taping the students' presentations, and photographing their completed whiteboards. As she continues to work to analyze the results for publication, resounding positive student feedback has led her to use the whiteboards in classrooms outside of the study itself. Ultimately, Dr. Martin's goal is to show that this instructional method should be applicable not only in other chemistry classrooms, but also in other disciplines. Dr. Martin, thank you for your contributions. Next, Dr. Nadine McHenry from the School of Human Service Professions. Nadine. And her fan club, yes. Dr. McHenry is being recognized for her work on 4 interrelated projects: the Junior Block Program, Saturday Ecology Academy, Collaborative Professional Development at Widener Partnership Charter School, and Sharing the Environment. Through each of these projects, she has taught pre-service and in-service teachers inquiry-based approaches to environmental education through intensive experiential learning opportunities. These learning opportunities are targeted at meeting the educational needs of elementary and middle school children in both Chester and Trinidad. The Junior Block Program, Saturday Ecology Academy, Collaborative Professional Development at Widener Partnership Charter School, and Sharing the Environment are all based on the belief that teachers must be problem solvers who can test pedagogical theory in the practical context of their classrooms. They must also use these experiences to revise their theoretical understanding and improve practice while their students learn. These projects are innovative in that they introduce teachers and teacher candidates to the notions that environmental education can be used to promote school children's understanding of social responsibility and their general problem-solving skills, can use technology to support an exciting international collaboration between a university-supported urban elementary school in the United States and 2 under-resourced schools in Trinidad, and can provide a model for collaboration between university-based education professors and in-service teachers that can greatly enhance the professional development of both professors and teachers. And Dr. McHenry's partner from Trinidad in this collaborative effort is with us tonight too. I'd like for you to welcome our special guest. Thank you. Thank you for being here. And Dr. McHenry, thank you for your work. Our final nominee for the Fitz Dixon Innovation in Teaching Award comes from the School of Engineering, Dr. Mark Nicosia. Mark, would you please rise? Dr. Nicosia transformed the laboratory portion of an introductory engineering class, Engineering Techniques, from a setting where the freshmen passively observed a technician performing a traditional mechanical engineering experiment to an interactive and exciting laboratory project. In addition to providing instruction of writing good laboratory reports, the lab experience aims to give students an understanding of and inspired incitement about mechanical engineering. Dr. Nicosia's innovative approach to designing the library project asks students to engage peers from other engineering disciplines in designing and conducting the experiment. In addition, students must draw upon their high school physics backgrounds to complete the experiment and further synthesize the learning of foundational engineering concepts. The students are asked to reflect, revise, and critique the results, and to document their reflections, interpretations, and results in their lab reports. The experiment subject is based on impact dynamics, which refers to how bodies react when they collide with one another, and has been successfully used in the freshman course. In addition, it has been adopted in outreach events such as high school engineering workshops and camps. Dr. Nicosia expects that providing students with a positive and exciting engineering experience in the first semester will lead to more interested and engaged students, and also help with student retention in our engineering program. Dr. Nicosia, thank you for your contributions. That concludes the nominees for the Fitz Dixon Innovation in Teaching Award, and we now turn to our Outstanding Researcher Award nominees. First, Dr. Joseph Fuhrer from the School of Business Administration. Dr. Fuhrer. Thank you. Dr. Fuhrer's research interests are predominantly in the areas of industrial organization, regulation, and antitrust. His publications and other research-related activities have earned him an international reputation in healthcare management and in regulations in the telecommunications industry. His scholarly activities include more than 40 publications in peer and editorially reviewed academic and professional journals, 15 of which were during the last 5 academic years, in addition to many presentations at international meetings. Most of these publications are in top-tier journals, and just a few examples of these journals include the Journal of Healthcare Finance, Journal of Health Law, the Atlantic Economic Journal, the Indian Economic Journal, the International Quarterly Journal of Finance, and the Journal of Financial Service Professionals. Dr. Fuhrer's scholarly activities also include his services to the academic community, including involvements in various projects in the School of Health at Thomas Jefferson University, Internet Innovation Alliance, and Compass Rose International, among others. He's also been named a Senior Fellow in the American Consumer Institute. Currently, he's doing research on specialty hospitals, telecommunications, and biosimilars, which is a pharmaceutical that is similar to a name brand drug, but not identical. Dr. Fuhrer has positioned himself and his research in the middle of the net neutrality debate, having published articles and given various presentations on this subject. He recently has an article accepted concerning the issue of broadband technology, telecommuting, and how broadband adoption not only has economic benefits, but also environmental benefits. Dr. Fuhrer's contributions to the broadband industry were recognized by the Internet Innovation Alliance when it asked him to be an ambassador, having given presentations and written letters to Congress on behalf of that organization. Dr. Fuhrer, thank you for your contributions. Next, Dr. Dawn Gulick from the School of Human Service Professions. Dawn? Dr. Gulick's research is focused on orthopedics and physical therapy. To date, she has published 30 peer-reviewed manuscripts, 11 in the past 5 years, in 18 different journals. 12 of the 18 journals are indexed in Medline, and 2 have an impact factor in the top 10 of all medical journals. Likewise, she's presented 20 research projects in peer-reviewed venues, 4 in just the last 5 years. Many of these invitations to present her research are from national and state organizations in the physical therapy profession. All the while, she has served as a reviewer for numerous journals and home study courses. In addition to publishing journal articles and book chapters, Dr. Gulick has published 4 reference texts in orthopedics that are widely used around the world. The popularity of these texts attests to her success in distilling current, relevant research into a comprehensive guide to evidence-based treatment. In fact, one of these works, Ortho Notes, is already in a 2nd edition and has been translated into 5 other languages. Particularly notable is the extent to which Dr. Gulick has involved her students in collaborative research leading to juried presentations and publications in refereed journals. Recently, Dr. Gulick has been honored with a request to be a member of the International Consortium for Disabled Athletes Research. This is a committee of medical professionals from 8 countries: Brazil, Canada, Finland, Germany, Israel, Sweden, the UK, and the USA. Her charge, along with the rest of the consortium, is to collaborate to design testing and fitness protocols for disabled athletes. Dr. Gulick has taken the lead in this organization by developing a standardized protocol for testing visually impaired and wheelchair-bound athletes. Dr. Gulick, thank you for your contributions. Next is Dr. Zhongping Huang from the School of Engineering. Dr. Huang's research is focused on biomedical engineering and its applications in the areas of artificial organs and refrigerated technology, specifically in artificial kidneys and hemodialysis. His research publications and presentations in these areas have appeared in highly respected national and international journals and proceedings. He's published nearly 30 refereed publications, 4 book chapters, and 5 technical reports. He's presented over 30 papers at conferences and was an invited lecturer at regional, national, and international technical meetings. His pioneering work has either been patented or is pending patents. Dr. Huang has been successful in funding his research through grants from federal and state agencies such as the National Institute of Health, Pennsylvania Keystone Innovation Program, and Pennsylvania Infrastructure Technology Alliance. Dr. Huang has also been very successful in establishing key partnerships with major corporations such as Gambro Corporation and Baxter Incorporated, as well as medium and small firms in support of his research program and his graduate students. All told, he has secured over $500,000 to support his research at Widener. Dr. Huang, thank you for your contributions. And our final nominee for the Outstanding Research Award comes from the College of Arts and Sciences, Dr. Janine Utel. Janine. Dr. Utel's research focuses on the roles narrative plays in people's intimate lives. Her research takes on a starting claim that we rely on storytelling from both shared and private perspectives that help us make sense of the world. Dr. Utel concentrates on love stories and narratives of intimate lives, yet this perspective has much greater implications for the study of humanities, something she's explored in essays for Feminist Teacher and Inside Higher Ed. Firmly committed to the idea that literary study and scholarship have real-world implications, Dr. Utel's research has taken 2 paths over the last 5 years. First, she's been formulating a series of scholarly publications and presentations at both national and international conferences, looking at the representation of intimacy in literary texts. Second, she's been working to design, fund, and facilitate a series of reading groups for the Delaware County Public Library regarding her research agenda. The significance of Dr. Utell's work can at least partially be found in the fact that it is still some of the only research and writing in literary studies concerned with issues of love and intimacy. The importance of her research has been widely recognized by major voices in her scholarly field. As evidence, she has presented at conferences in France, England, Italy, and the Czech Republic. Her first book, James Joyce and the Revolt of Love, Marriage, Adultery, Desire, has been endorsed by key figures in James Joyce studies, and her scholarly articles have appeared in publications including James Joyce Quarterly and Journal of Modern Literature, considered the most important scholarly journal in the field. Currently, Dr. Utell is working on a monograph, Erotic Biography, Reading Intimate Lives. This is the first book to define the genre of the couple biography, a biography that treats the parallel and shared lives of two made into one, and outlines new directions for intimate storytelling as our culture continues to redefine marriage and union. This book is the second in a projected trilogy of studies in which she examines the intersection between narrative and intimate life. Dr. Utell, thank you for your contributions. We will now take a break for you to refresh your plates or have some dessert, and we'll be back in just a few minutes for the next award nominee and the selections. Thank you. The Faculty Award for Civic Engagement criteria require that nominees come from the nominee pool for the other two awards presented this evening. As the award criteria stipulate, reflective of the esteemed reputation and import of the Faculty Award for Civic Engagement, a recipient extraordinarily must embody all components of the award. This means that a recipient of this award must have demonstrated excellence in teaching or research and have extended that work into areas of civic engagement in a way that reflects the mission and vision of the university. Most important is the contribution this person's work makes to our students' understandings of their social responsibilities, as well as the impact of their disciplinary learning within a particular problem-based context involving community constituencies. This evening's nominee for the Faculty Award for Civic Engagement is Dr. Nadine McHenry from the School of Human Service Professions, whom you met earlier. Integrating environmental education and teacher preparation with community service has been Dr. McHenry's goals throughout her teaching career. From 1996 to 2002, she designed and implemented a civic engagement project called Schoolyard Lab, which provided the resources needed to design and build schoolyard habitats. Through this project, she was able to train teachers and teacher candidates in 3 Chester schools. When she came to Widener in the summer of 2002, she was interested in building ecological literacy, environmental dispositions, and sustainable behaviors in under-resourced, distressed communities, particularly in schools where no curricular foundations existed. All of Dr. McHenry's initiatives since 2002 are rooted in community service. The Junior Block Program, Saturday Ecology Academy, WPCS Professional Development, and Sharing the Environment projects evolved from a belief in the importance of meaningful and authentic fieldwork capable of building a citizenry where all people, young and old, recognize their place as stewards of the global environment. Along the way, she's built strong partnerships with a variety of agencies, schools, and universities, allowing for the use of innovative fieldwork grounded in civic engagement and environmental education. To support her efforts, Dr. McHenry has been involved in NSF grant writing activities that call for the collaboration between local underserved school districts and Widener. She was invited to participate on the leadership team of a $12 million NSF proposal that created a professional learning community comprised of local high school teachers and university faculty from Westchester, Bryn Mawr, Delaware County Community College, and Lincoln. She was successful in leading this group in the development and ultimate approval of a post-baccalaureate sustainability science curriculum. Dr. McHenry's collaboration with Earth Force has brought acclaim to Widener, as we are one of just a few universities in the United States that has embedded this problem-solving approach into the undergraduate curriculum. Saturday Ecology Academy has built a strong bond among Widener, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, Chester Youth Collaborative, and members of youth-serving organizations throughout Chester. SEA has been advertised and written up in the Chester spirit as an excellent opportunity for a seriously underrepresented population in science, young African American girls, to learn ecology while also developing positive dispositions toward the environment and themselves as learners. The girls meet at Widener every Saturday before going to the Wildlife Refuge in an effort to expose these young women to Widener as a viable option in higher education. Dr. McHenry has also been able to expose a variety of agencies in Trinidad to Widener's commitment to community engagement. It was the first time in Asa Wright Nature Center's history that teacher training was held at William Beebe Research Station, a residential facility reserved for scientists and their students from all over the world. Dr. McHenry and the teachers and students in Trinidad spent 3 days sharing the space with international students and scientists, telling them about the work they were doing through Widener University. She was invited to consult with the Ministry of Education in Trinidad as they worked toward training teachers to use laptops as instructional tools. With the ministry's officers, she investigated ways to expand sharing the environment and embed it into their primary school curriculum. In addition, Dr. McHenry joined forces with board members from Asa Wright Nature Center to apply for a grant from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service that could build capacity among their naturalists in using technology to communicate with schools within and beyond the borders of Trinidad and Tobago. Dr. McHenry's extensive work in civic engagement and partnerships she has developed have yielded a variety of positive results. Perhaps most importantly, according to Dr. McHenry, practicing teachers learn cutting-edge pedagogies while their children become excited about science and environmental education. Dr. McHenry, thank you again for your contributions. At this time, I'd like to ask that all of our nominees please stand once again and be recognized for your achievements. So at this point, we have recognized all of our nominees, and while there can only be one award winner in each category, the main point is lost if that becomes the sole focus of this evening. It is and should be more than an honor just to be nominated. These awards are about creating a venue where each faculty member has an opportunity to be recognized across the university for their exemplary work, and just as importantly, to share that body of work with others. So at this time, I'd like to ask President Harris to come forward. I'd like to ask you to raise your glasses for a toast to all of our nominees, and President Harris will make that toast.
Why don't we have everybody rise? To our outstanding colleagues for the way that they inspire us and they inspire a generation of students, we thank you for your commitment to academic excellence in teaching, in scholarship, and in civic engagement. Cheers. All right, you may be seated.
Before we announce the award recipients, I'd like to read just a few of the sentiments and phrases from the external reviewers as testament to the superior quality of each of tonight's nominees. The external evaluators lauded the nominees, saying that, quote, "If these nominees are representative of the faculty as a whole, then it is clear that students receive an excellent education at Widener University, and that the applications demonstrated faculty work that, quote, is nothing short of impressive, quote, is innovative and reflects a strong understanding of the relationship between their work and the Widener mission, and, quote, is fascinating, prolific, and provocative." I share the external reviewers' exuberance over our faculty's remarkable accomplishments and contributions, take great delight in being associated with them and their dedication to their students and their constant pursuit of excellence, and look forward to even more wonderful achievements ahead. So we are now ready to announce the award recipients. I'd like to ask the nominees for the Fitz-Dixon Innovation in Teaching Award to please come forward and stand at the front of the stage. You know who you are, right? I'm also going to ask that you remain up front after the winners announced, and the award winner will receive an award check and plaque, and then each nominee will also receive a plaque of recognition. At the end of the evening, I'm going to ask that families of the recipients, award recipients, stay around because we'd like to get a special picture of you as well. So now, the winner of the 2011 Fitz-Dixon Innovation in Teaching Award is, we need a drum roll. Yay, thank you, we got it. Joe Hargadon.
For once, Sava, she'll be happy. I don't have much to say. I'm actually speechless. This is incredible. The innovation is truly a partnership, and I'd be remiss if I didn't recognize really the partners that were instrumental in this. And if I could ask Steve Wynn and Joe Gorman, who are the co-authors and really the catalyst for the textbook, the opportunity at then PFPC to stand, guys, you deserve this. It's certainly a team effort. Thank you so much. And also Frank Lordi, who was the department head, and Savash, who gave the sabbatical that really sort of got the ball rolling. You guys are great. And I want to thank the Pedagogical Support Office and Richard and the Provost and Bridget. There's so many. And my guys there who have hung in there pretty well, Casey and Sonny, thank you guys very much. I love you. And I'm deeply honored. It's truly a team effort. Thank you.
Thank you all, and we will get pictures later. Thank you very much. And now I would like to ask the nominees for the Outstanding Researcher Award to please come forward. And if everyone would please remain up front after the winner's announced, and the award winner will receive an award check and plaque, and each nominee will receive a plaque of recognition. So the winner of the 2011 Outstanding Researcher Award is Dawn Gulick.
Joe, I echo your thoughts. It's not often that I'm speechless. There's a cartoon character that I'm rather fond of, Calvin and Hobbes. And there's a little printout on my office door that says, "Life is not a journey to the grave with the intention of arriving safely in a pretty and well-preserved body, but rather to skid in broadly, thoroughly used up, totally worn out, and loudly proclaiming, 'Wow, what a ride.'" This has been an awesome ride. This seems so bizarre. I'm having fun. To be rewarded for coming to work every day to have fun. I love what I do, and I can honestly say I don't want to do it anywhere else. Thank you to the Institute for Physical Therapy. You guys are just a great support. I couldn't do this without you. School of Human Service Professions is such a great environment. And where are you, Steve? Please, a wonderful support, just an awesome dean. Thank you so much.
Dawn, can we get you for, is there a picture? Did you get that? Okay. Okay, we'll do it later. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Sorry. Oops. Okay, and now I'd like to ask the nominee for the Faculty Award for Civic Engagement to please come forward. Evidence of the esteem of the Faculty Award for Civic Engagement. A recipient must have demonstrated work of distinction in teaching or research and have extended that work into areas of civic engagement in a way that reflects the mission and vision of the university. The award winner will receive a plaque, and instead of a one-time cash prize like the other awards, as testimony to the award's prestige, its prize will be applied to the recipient's base salary. I like all this neutral language, like we don't know, this is happening. Please join me in recognizing our Faculty Award recipient for civic engagement, whose work truly represents the realization of Widener's mission and vision as it relates to civic engagement, Nadine McHenry.
Okay. Well, thank you all very, very much for your recognition. And I want to thank, of course, my illustrious dean, Dean Wilhite, and of course, my favorite boss in the world, Michael Ledoux. And of course, this would never have happened. Zainab Hamadullah, who has already been introduced, but she won't stand up because she's very shy. She called me a couple of years ago, and I was on spring break. And she called me from Trinidad, and she said, she was a student of mine at Widener University. And she said, "I have this wonderful idea. Let's try to connect the children at your school with the children in Trinidad." And she had just moved back to Trinidad, and I was like, okay, sounds like a great idea. And then Sharing the Environment was born. So we have been back and forth to Trinidad. Our children, this past week, finally, after 2 years, actually Skyped one another, and they were singing Justin Bieber across the ocean. And everybody in the room was smiling because the kids were exactly the same in both classrooms. So to my family, to my friends, and to my colleagues, thank you very much. And, by the way, before I say anything more, Dr. Bose, who is the instructional technologist without which the little connections between the countries would never happen. So thank you, Kathy, and thank you to everyone else.
One final thought before our evening concludes. Please take a moment before you leave this evening to thank each of the deans for all of their hard work and efforts that too often go unrecognized. They are superb faculty themselves, all teachers and scholars in their own rights. As deans, they eagerly champion the great work that their faculty are doing, mentor our faculty, advocate for them, and even find resources among their own budgets to even more greatly support the great work that our faculty do. It is their support that makes the accomplishments of the entire Widener faculty shine so bright. As the evening comes to a close, we would like to thank you all for coming to help celebrate our faculty's incredible achievements. Please feel free to continue to mingle, converse, enjoy some more dessert, and prepare for next year's celebration of equally stellar faculty at Widener University. I wish you all well. Good night. If we could have the families up with the award recipients. Thank you.